Good evening, everybody. This is UFA Post, and I'm your host, Carrington Hooks. A big show today. A lot of current topics that we'll be discussing. Um, some of them being this H-1B deal policy that they reinstated. You know, let's see, what else do we got here? We also got, I can't believe I'm forgetting Israel and Spain and Canada. Big, just bunch of shit there. And we'll get into a video that I want you guys to give me your opinion on. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. But first, we have a very good friend of mine, very smart guy. Grew up with me. I've known him practically all my life. We share a lot of the same values. I assume we don't talk about this kind of stuff often with each other, just because we just don't. But I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I'll ask him a few questions. Here he is, Nick. Say what's up.
Yasu, hello. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm here and I'm you know, excited to talk about what's going on in America because we need to figure it the fuck out, right?
Cool. First things first. I want to know. You're bringing up America, favorite, right? We're America first here. We love America. So, what are you identify as? What's your nationality? What's your ethnicity? Where you look like a white guy to me.
I was gonna say I'm whitey. I'm as white. I'm almost as white as they come. So I'm mostly Greek. My whole 50% Greek. My whole dad's side of the family is from Greece. But then my other side is the classic whitey, Irish, British, German, English. But again, I identify more with my Greek side and my heritage over there, just because food typically, is a little bit better, and just the culture, the traditions. I like all that. So
All
definitely
right.
identify with my Greek side.
Okay, that's good to hear. Very nice. You identify with your Greek side. Do you know where in Greek that your family's from? Where in
Yeah. So
Greece?
yeah, so it's interesting. So my grandmother, which I would call her my yaya, is from a village called Tazuli, and she came to America at, I believe, 16 years old, on an arranged marriage to a man who was also from that same village.
Mm.
Now that man, he would later go on to, have a heart attack and die at like
Mm.
35, which is crazy. But before then, he had my dad. I've got an uncle and two aunts. So I'd call them my Thea and my Theo. Uh, Thea being aunt. So yeah, he did a lot, and it's kind of like crazy to think about like what what happened just a short time ago. Like people were living in villages. My said that like I guess the U.S. government dropped down like a block of government cheese, so it was just like what everyone else got, but to her it was like the most amazing, wonderful thing because in Greece all they have is goats and lambs. They don't even have most villages. They don't even have cows because cows are so expensive. So
Okay.
that's why you see a lot of like feta cheese, and you don't see anything else besides like goat cheese and goat meat.
Now, how
So
often
her
how
seeing that
often do you go
government
back? I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I have to ask, how often do you go back, if you do at all?
So I've never actually been to Greece. I was planning on going this summer, just didn't happen, and now it's definitely gonna happen next summer. I'm gonna plan better.
Okay.
Um, it was more of like a financial thing. Like the flight is not cheap. I think it's about 1,500
Figures,
to.
we're in America, but go ahead. Love it. We love
Yeah,
these
well,
problems. We love facing these
nothing's gonna
problems, right?
exactly. Well, nothing's
Because
gonna
there's
be
other people of certain demographics that can go to their homeland whenever the fuck they feel. But we're not even
we're not
gonna
gonna
go
go
there.
there, right?
We're
That's
not
not
gonna
what we're
go there.
here
Not
for.
this early. But no, nah, great to get to know you. Great to you to introduce yourself. That's really nice. I got a lot of questions. Similar to me, my mother is a immigrant. I'm first generation American. As you know, like this. My mom came here at 19. So your grandma came, but not far off. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, exactly. But first things first, it's funny we talk about this, right? Being able to go back to our homeland, being able to, and the problem for a lot of people our age is going to be a lot of financial situations. Mind you, we not perfect. I'm not perfect. I got my vices that I'm about to I'm about to dabble in now. But I wanted to show you guys this video and just get a load of this. Tell me what you think. Tell me tell me how you guys feel about this one. I'm gonna change the screen here a second. I'm gonna change the screen here for a second. Just bear with me. Bear with me here, alright? So here we go. So I want you guys to see this. Now, this video here, I'm actually gonna take myself off the screen. I wanna make sure you guys can see this. So yeah, so we're gonna turn this off and yeah. So can you see it, Nick? You following?
I'm watching the live stream on YouTube. It's looking choppy. Dang, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna hold you.
Nah, it's choppy as hell. I'm gonna fix that. Can you hear it though? Oh, you probably don't know, but
Oh, you can hear it fine, yeah.
word. As long as you can hear it, fine. So we'll play the video. Fuck the actuals look for now. But preface. So Jillian Michael, I'm sorry, um, is on this podcast with American journalist Anna Kasparian. Not sure who she fucking is. A fucking girl, to be simple, I guess. Jillian
Fucking lib.
Michael, she is a Zionist podcaster that did Big Fat Loser. Like she's a host and she's on there. So
I
we're
was gonna
gonna
say
take
if
a
I could chime in
yeah, we're
real
gonna take
quick. My mom had all the Julian Michaels like videos and shit, so I knew this lady growing up.
interesting. This is even better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
And you
let's
know what's crazy? She had a Wii game too. We had
let's
that too.
let's take a listen here, man. Let's listen to what happens here.
Netanyahu is a
She
bad
got her
guy.
hands in
This
everything.
is not for me. I'm not interested in this.
Okay,
I love
I
you
know.
guys.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Let's be good.
I
Let's
have
be good
zero
about precious
interest
Israel. Let the
in
country
fucking
commit a
every
genocide.
show.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have zero. I think you guys are great. I fundamentally disagree with you about.
Watch Zionist podcaster Jillian Michaels lose her mind on air after failing to stop young
Just
Americans
get a
from
load of this.
criticizing her beloved Israel.
Just get a load of
No,
it.
no, no, because I didn't want to cover this, and you guys insisted. And I told you, you cover this shit, I'm gonna rip you apart. Told you, you cover this shit, I'm gonna rip you apart.
It turns out,
Sorry, guys.
by her own admission in the studio and later in a furious tweet, Jillian
Yeah.
Michaels had been
Let's stop and read this tweet here, right? Why not? I want to address why I chose to step out of the most recent segment. Her take, dumb name. I have sat through many conversations that were highly critical of Israel, and I've never shied away from hearing different views. Well, I mean, that's contradicting in itself. You're shying away here. You are okay. I'm not gonna get too overzealous. I'm just gonna read it. It just baffles me, when people like it's not hard to see where things are going wrong at, right? So let's read the actual tweet here. So there's nothing in the way. Here we go. She pinned it? What a fucking beast. All right. I want to address why I chose to step out of the most recent segment of her take. I have sat through many conversations that were highly critical of Israel, and I've never shied away from hearing different viewpoints on legitimate topics. However, I do not want to participate in discussions that center on unfounded conspiracy theories that could inadvertently stoke the fires of anti-Semitism. I think it's dangerous, irresponsible, and not something I'm willing to participate in. I expressed deep concern prior to the show with other hosts, but when it became clear that the segment would proceed despite my objections, I felt the best choice for me was to leave the segment. Um, I mean, first off, Nick, I want to get your take on the video, on just what you've seen so far. On just what you've seen so far. I'll play the whole clip if you want me to see. If you want to see the whole clip without any.
I watched the clip earlier when you sent it to me. Here's the thing, you can't say much, and I'll leave it at that.
So I'll elaborate here. I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little bit of what I was thinking, if you don't mind. So um, I'm gonna just be flat out. I see a problem on both sides. I see a problem on both sides, and we're gonna preface with this first. First of all, the definition of Zionism, right? This is has a lot to do with this here. She identifies as a Zionist. My friend Nicholas here says he knows about her videos. I did a little brief history search on her. I had no fucking clue she was. And I used to watch The Biggest Loser. She's an intense
He
individual.
was on that. Yeah.
She's a very intense individual. I'm gonna get to sparking this bad boy because I believe it's that time. But so she's an intense individual, as we
Can
can
I
all
say
see.
one thing?
No, go ahead.
And hopefully I don't lose my life over this. But you notice that a lot of the people like, all right, we're seeing this about Julian Michaels, but we saw her like 15, 20 years ago, and they were never talking about being a Zionist or being, whatever. She was just trying to sell her fucking
Right.
she was just selling the number one fitness video in America,
Yeah.
you know.
And
She was
obviously,
making a killing too doing that. She was, probably like she could have just kept her mouth shut,
right, right.
continued to make her money, but it's never enough to just have money.
And
You also have
obviously, in
vendors.
recent times, I don't mean to cut you off here, but I thought it was important that you brought up that this wasn't really like this wasn't mainstream that we knew Jillian Michaels is Zionist. Niggas didn't even know what Zionism was. Let's be real. It's all with the
You had to
recent,
remind me,
yeah, it's
honestly.
all with this recent things coming to light. You know, our generation, the millennials and things of that sort, kind of seeing where our money is being sent and what it's for, and it's a big conundrum. I'm gonna just be right straightforward with it. Zionism, the definition. It's actually founded, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna go too fucking hard, but around like
I'll say I don't
1890.
know how much we want to dive into this topic.
No,
I'd
I'm
rather
diving
talk
in it.
about
I'm
like
diving in
fun
it. I'm
shit.
gonna preface. So I mean,
I thought we were talking fun stuff here.
so it's about like 1890, like it's like formed Zionism. Just to be vague, it's like the Jewish people that believe that Israel, that they need a homeland, that they are a race in themselves. Blacks got Africa, whites got the
Uh,
Caucasus. Indians. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
I
that's
don't think
basically
anybody disagrees with that sentiment
right,
that
right.
they should have
But
their own language.
but the problem that I
Happens to
see,
be a dispute that's been going on for thousands and thousands of
the
years.
problem
It's
that
not
I
really.
see specifically is the terminology. Like these Israeli, they're smart. They're very smart individuals. They have their own institutions, you know, and it's hard to get into. Not hard, it costs money, but yeah, they're smart and they're very particular with their terminology. So I don't think there's a word for black people deserving a homeland, or not that there's a problem, but I'll start with the girl who addresses it. The clip to me, I mean, if you know the situation, if you know what you're getting into, and mind you, I'm assuming they knew who this lady was. She's fucking intense. She's calling people fat lards on fucking Biggest Loser.
Hey,
Don't
did
quote
she
me.
say that she? Wait, didn't she say she was gonna beat that lady's ass on the show?
She just. Thank you for getting there. She's intense. She's saying I'm going. I told you beforehand I would rip you apart if you decide to do this. Like that is a
Yeah.
crazy thing to say, and then
You know what's
relate on
crazy?
air.
I believe it. I believe it because Julian Michaels, she ain't soft.
She ain't fucking around, and
She's
this
ripped. She'll
and
beat my ass.
and this
But
is why I want to say this because I'm a devil's advocate kind of guy, but this has to be prefaced here and said. You know the situation. You absolutely know. She gave you the beforehand, mind you. Her tweet is contradicting. Oh, I've never shied away from these events, from these conversations, and it's like here's a clear situation where you're not shying away. You're right. You're being a fucking lunatic. You're doing the complete opposite of shying away. You're scaring me. You're scaring us. Chill. Relax. Like, I'll play the rest of the video if you want to see the Asian bitch scared out of her mind.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw
like
her, and she
like
was like
like
terrified.
like the Asian bitch looks like she's looking at a dragon about to eat her fucking head. You know, she's like, please don't be mad at me. Like, I feel so bad for the girl, right? But here's the thing: it's like if we're gonna have these conversations, bro, this is why I gotta address both sides. You gotta be diplomatic. Like, you have to be able to talk with someone, and like, I'm just gonna be frank. A Zionist, intense motherfucker like Jillian Michaels, like, you understand her fucking like you don't.
She is an
I did a
intense
brief research on who
Zionist.
she was. I know 2 seconds into that conversation, she's ready to fight. So it's
She's
like
like,
you
hey,
can't
who wants to smoke with
you
me?
can't control that all the way. Like, you're not. It's not always gonna be like, oh, I said this and she shouldn't have took it that way. Like, it's probably gonna go that way. This is a Israel. Like, she's contradicting herself in the tweet. So to make yourself look good, and I'm talking for Anna, don't be a bitch. Don't be a fucking bitch. Don't be fucking annoying. Don't be weird. Okay? I can sit here and go, Bibi Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal, and he should realistically be in fear of his life if he goes to any of these countries, passes through. Like, we can all sit there and go, okay, it takes a fucking toddler that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can all come up with that.
Anybody could know that,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I didn't know it took a fucking grown adult to sit here and go, wait, maybe I just shouldn't be a fucking bitch. Maybe I shouldn't fucking yell over the girl, right? And I got a problem with Jillian Michaels, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe it wouldn't make me look so bad if I just heard somebody else out.
yeah, and here's what I'm trying to get at, because it's a double-edged sword, and the one edge is like, I don't want to categorize and just broadly put them there, but like, a lot of these fucking Israel Jewish people are gonna feel like really personable to that. It's their families there, like, regardless of what's going on over there, right? Regardless of that culture. Because people who've done their homework, that knows the history in the Middle East, all the way from the Ottoman Empire, if you understand that, you know that this is a war-stricken area for the most part, and for
And
good
it
reason.
and since the dawn of time it has been. And
For good,
nothing's gonna change. And
and
it's
and
just an unfortunate
it's a
thing.
religious place. They're going to fight. They're going to fight over the land. But hear me out. So let's just say, for instance, I preface right. I'm a first generation American, proud, love America. However, if I could have allegiance to Trinidad,
Yes.
like, if I could sit here and go, well, there are people occupying my land, my homeland, that I don't really find suit to be
Which
there.
I feel they stole from my people. They killed, they
Right,
raped, they did
right, and
horrible
that's
things
what I
to.
feel. I would do the homework and try to find out the most accurate depiction of that. And mind you, you're going to be biased. Let's say I feel like, damn, they're raping them, they're doing all the shit that they said they do, right? I still don't believe in ethnic cleansing, genocide. Because, like, we can take it in two things here. So ethnic cleansing, no, I don't agree with just taking people that live there and go somewhere the fuck else. You know, but I don't think I'm a bad person for sitting there saying, regardless of that, I'm willing to make sure they have supreme authority, our people. So it's a double-edged sword. Like, do the people of Israel agree with Bibi? Probably the fuck not, for the most part. But do they
That's what I
give
mean.
up?
I know. Listen, we know a lot of Jewish people. I know a lot of Jewish people. They're not bad people. It's again, it's like a bad situation. It's the perfect storm. It's a bad situation mixed with some bad, like some of the worst people, and then somebody who just happens to be Jewish is caught in the middle of that, and that's the
Right.
story of the world,
And you're
really.
allowed to have an opinion. You're allowed to be biased. And it's like, you know, on one hand, it's like, we're over here. We're talking for the people here. And them feeling
Exactly.
so
Jewish
emotionally.
Americans are so hurt by the things that are going on right now, and they also feel like everybody's against us. I feel like the hate, if you can even call it that, is
I'm pouring one up for that. Talk to him, Nick.
well, think about it. Like, if everybody is feeling like, oh, all Jews this, all Jews that, we know a lot of Jewish people. They're regular people. They don't fucking, you know what I mean? They're
Right.
not fucking,
Now,
they're not bombing people. They're
here's
not killing people. They're not
here's
making a lot of money. Like, let's
here's
be honest, if that's the classic Jewish thing.
now here's where I would say I disagree with you there, because
this is
they
why
do
this is why
they
this show is good.
yeah, they do make a good amount of money. They're good with money. If you read their scriptures, if you read their Torah, now mind you, I haven't Talmud, sorry, I didn't finish reading the Quran. I didn't finish reading them, but like from my perception, it's like okay, they talk about litigation. They talk about fine like that's prominent early on in those script in those writings. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm not. But furthermore, like they have a strong allegiance to each other. They're very tied. Like we
Well, of
have the
course, like
same
you
we
said,
we have the same Jewish friends, and not all of them have been to Israel, right? Not all of them's been to Israel. Some have, some haven't, but they all consider themselves a Jewish household. And the ones that have the money understand that they got to protect that 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 class, and a lot of racist religions haven't like taken from them. So that's where I can say I disagree. Like I feel like they do have power, they do have money. Like this whole Jewish people, like run the world and run the economy and run your algorithm. Yeah, it's real. Like it happens, and it's not hard to go into. So while I'm saying this is a double-edged sword, it's like we have to approach some people diplomatically as well. And if they go out of their comfort zone and they end up looking like Jillian the Dragon Michaels, then let them. Then let them, because we've been around plenty of our Jewish friends and we talk about it. And we haven't seen any of them act like that, and we know personally that like how their family feels towards like this whole Free Palestine thing, and it's like a lot of the people that scream Free Palestine, like I said, don't do their homework. Like they aren't really up on the war. They're not even Muslim. Like they don't really.
that's why you see it all. Like, if you look at where that's happening, it's all college campuses. Why is it happening on college campuses? Oh, because your classmate, your frat bro, your fucking it's mostly the sororities, I would say.
Right,
But you
right,
know what I
right.
mean? It's a bunch of just dumb women that are like, hey, like, this is what we got to do right now. My roommate is half Afghani and she's, I don't know, I'm trying to support her or whatever. And it becomes this big thing where now everybody on campus, you're
But
either pro
here's
Palestine or you're against them, and they're either pro whatever their agenda is or you're against their agenda, and
and
that's why it becomes big. If you go to rural parts of America, nobody in the world has a fucking Palestine flag. You'll see a lot of Israel flags, even
mhm.
in the middle of redneck fucking Virginia, but you will never see a Palestine flag, and
and
that's
and
just
and here's my thing though. I'm glad you said that, because that's right. You really won't. You didn't until recently, and the reason why you got to cut them slack too, like the bitch ant, like you know what I mean. The reason why you have to cut them some slack is they're doing this on our behalf. They're doing this on our behalf. So anything that happens out of that is affected. We're directly affected. Not only are we affected, it's how we're perceived, it's how we're looked at, and like I don't know how many people you know from outside the country, but American citizens are not viewed too highly around the world. And my point there that I'm trying to, make the blind see is the fact that it's like when you approach this situation and you do it immorally, like you're sitting there saying, they're raping kids over there, they're killing. It's like, bro, it's like you see that we are getting 6 billion from them, and they're paying it back with our taxes. Like they're not about to like if they stop funding Israel right now, like we're not just gonna get $100 every day because they got to give the money somewhere. But with that being said, though, there are things that need to be prioritized here. Like we don't see any infrastructure bills. We don't see any like just the other day at fucking what was it, the Monday game or whatever. We had in Pennsylvania, we had the and this is the second time this happened. We got $100,000 from fucking FanDuel to fund transportation, and it's like talking about transportation, like you know how the buses are here, Nick. Like,
I'm
could
sorry,
you?
say that again. Wait. FanDuel donated to SEPTA?
Yes, yes,
What? God
yes.
damn. What? You know what? It's
W-
about time that big companies and big corporations give back to fucking everyday people
no,
because
that's
that's
not the way
great.
you need
That's
to
what
look
fucking
at it.
is.
That's not it, cause that's not it. It's not even.
What did they do to SEPTA?
Well, it's not like they just donated. It's like we beg them because we don't have the
Okay.
funding, and it's like I don't know the ins and outs, like the person to person. Like, I can't name names, but as a fucking regular citizen like us, I think we can both sit here and say like, all right, like the buses here suck. Like you can't get a job somewhere and expect on a weekend and expect to be taking buses and being able to there's like the
Yeah,
bus.
had that bus show up on time or at
Exactly,
all.
and not even on
I've had it
time. It's
happen
just the
many
it's
countless times.
they'll show up on time, but it's like we don't have enough bus stops. We don't have enough bus transit. Like we don't have
I've
enough.
had buses literally like because I was in such remote areas, like they just straight up didn't show up, and they'd be like, "Well, you gotta wait another hour." I
Exactly. Like
guess.
that shouldn't be like in America.
Oh,
Like you
dude.
shouldn't like public transportation. Like obviously in certain areas it's easier and things of that sort, but this is across the board. Sundays are dicks for SEPTA over here. Sundays, Saturdays are fucked, and they've been for a while, and we just don't have the funding. So it's like the reason I'm bringing that up is like, it's if you're going to attack the Free Palestine thing and say that, like, I feel like the argue point is like there's just so much more going on here. There's
Real,
just so much more we have to do here, and it's like we obviously are seeing this. Like besides the fact that it's like we can care less, if we do look at what's going on over there, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. It's fucking like in real time. It's insane to see that they fucking bombed Qatar 2 weeks ago, and like fucking 4 days after that, Charlie Kirk gets shot up in here, and we've got fucking all kinds of
you know
shit
what
going on in within the
crazy, the
country.
crazy, the crazy thing to point out is why did everybody immediately? Well, we know why, but everybody immediately being like, "Oh yeah, it's probably like a transgender liberal."
And that's what
You
I'm
know,
getting, and that's what I'm
that's
getting at.
Americans. That's their
That's
first thought
that's what
is,
I'm
"Oh,
getting at
it's
there. Is
obviously that," but it wasn't. It's a psyop. It's something else. You know.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's the fact that it's like, regardless of what it was, who it was, like if it was him, whatever, if they tell him the truth or they're not, regardless, it's like our algorithm, our media is going to put in front of our face a division. So like, if we're going to attack these problems, we got to think a little bit harder. And it's like, you gotta create a little bit of a solution because I can be frank with you, like the Zionist billionaires, like if you like let me ask you, Nick, if you asked Jillian Michaels, if you asked her right now, hey, do
Uh,
you condemn what's going on from the IDF standpoint of this situation?
uh,
Do you think she's going to condemn it and go, yeah, that's awful? Or
nah,
is she going to
she's probably gonna miss. She's gonna change the subject. She's gonna turn it into something else, and she's gonna bring up something else, and she's gonna not
I want
answer the
to
question.
I want to also show this one here. I'm going to share my screen so you can hear this, Nick. I actually just figured it
Was
out.
that Carrison back there?
Yeah, yep. He around. So I'm gonna share.
Carrison, my boy. What's up, man?
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna share the screen so you could probably see my screen and hear my shit. So hold on. Let me just do this here. Let me
Yeah,
just do
yeah,
this here. Hold up. I'm gonna just go straight
yeah,
to the
yeah.
screen.
Oh, so I can see your shit now.
Yeah, yep. I figured it out. I'm kind of learning on the job. Okay, so
I'm not gonna lie, Chooks. I feel like we should just record this
it is
because the
recording.
live,
I'm gonna save the VOD, bro.
but the live is so choppy. I pulled it up on my computer and it's like this.
As long as they can hear it, it's all good. Because the
I was
problem
gonna say we
is,
should just do an audio podcast at this point.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. But the problem is, I have to go back in and I'm gonna have to fuck with the like bit rates and shit like that. Cause I've never done like this
Joe Biden
live before. Let's listen to this though, Nick. Let's pay attention here. Let's stay on topic here. We'll figure out the semantics later.
Let's
let's
not
be
even
real
get
about
into
it.
the
It's insane that
semantics.
we
Let's
haven't
just
raised the
listen to
retirement
this
age in the
fucking
United
guy.
States. It's totally crazy.
Start
Joe
over.
Biden, and let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years. And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside, just on a fiscal level and on a logical level. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy in the United States was 63 years old. Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80. It's totally insane that you believe that you should be able to work from the time that you are essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period, pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk. That is not fiscally sustainable. The notion that if you have to raise the retirement age to 67 or 68, that everyone is going to fall apart. My parents are that age. My parents are not retired. And they shouldn't retire. It would be very bad for them to retire. By the way, it's disrespectful to people who are 67, 68, 69 years old to suggest that they are in the same shape as people who are 65 were in 1940. It's not true at all. Have you met a 65-year-old lately? 65-year-olds are not old in the United States. They're not. 68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81. I failed to see how a country in which our entire leadership class is 80 plus is telling you that we should have a retirement age of 65. It makes no sense at all.
Well, I don't know, Benjamin. I think maybe ethically it makes sense. Logically, right? But ethically it makes sense because if we're gonna talk about it really quick, if we're gonna if we're gonna talk about it, right? So you're telling me that we're going to grow up paying however many that we're doing, our regular blue collar people, that don't want to be working at a warehouse at 65, that doesn't want to be working at a McDonald's at 65, that doesn't want to be working at fucking as a crossing guard at 65. So you're telling me that us, like me and you, Nicholas, me and you, the fucking millennials that kind of carried that on our backs our whole fucking life. Like we essentially had we didn't eat because of this, right? We were paying so much making sure these motherfuckers were good. You would think they'd at least have our back, right? You think at least by the time we turn 65 in our you would think you would think that they're gonna return the favor, right? No, it's actually the complete opposite. We have this billionaire probably, right? I'm just gonna take a guess and say billionaire, maybe millionaire, super millionaire, whatever the fuck. We have Benjamin Shapiro. I don't even want to Google his net worth because I know it's gonna be a lie. I know it's gonna be so much less than what it actually is. But This guy, we have him telling us, "Oh, my 81-year-old father, he doesn't fucking he shouldn't retire." What does he do? What does he do? What's his job? What's his job? I mean, the reward of his job, I wouldn't retire either. He's probably making more money working than
Now,
doing Social Security, and at the same time, able to sit on his old fart ass because he is your motherfucking father, Benjamin. What, do you not believe in retiring your parents? I mean, I'm sure we've had that talk, Nick. I'm sure we no matter what
my
you go
mother sat
through,
me down at fucking 16 years old and she said, "Hey, I need you to retire me because I
and
can't do it.
and here's the
Can't do it all."
here's why I brought that clip up. This is a guy by himself talking about the thought of being ethically fair to the youth. The thought of like, oh, there's a day you can stop working your ass off if you'd like. You can at least live. And here's your congratulations of being in America and making it this long where we have fucking 9 mass shootings and 2 assassinations in the
You
same
survived them all
like
to make it to
you
retirement.
you you would think you get a congrats, but no. And it's like my point is this: it's like for people like that, I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to see it themselves or care, but it's like the same way say for the ant bitch, like don't be a bitch, like you don't have to fucking get all animated in front of her like that, especially when you know who you're dealing with. It's like these are the people that like we're talking about when we say, okay, Israel, Palestine, do you care, condemn or not? And like these are the people. Like this is their inherent nature. This is what they act like. And I'm talking about the ones that can make a difference immediately, the ones with power. That's 2 for 2 right there. Ben Shapiro, Jillian Michaels. That's 2 for 2. That's 2 for 2. And it's like I'm not trying to categorize all Jews. I'm not. I won't.
Bro, when did
But
this turn into? I thought we were just talking about I guess yeah, I
I mean,
guess.
this basically just got here because my point behind it was Jillian. Like that all stemmed, that whole thing, that whole clip. I just think it's important to show and then talk about this aspect of it because it's like, and in a human standpoint, I can realistically go, okay, like I understand someone having affinity with their land. I understand that. It's like it's very easy to get. It's not hard. You're stationed here for at least what you think, and of course you're going to root for them, right or wrong. Same thing with my folks. But it's like the thing is these guys have like serious power, so it's like you like instead of creating a division and like starting the arguments and the animation and the bullshit free Palestines. Like we get it, we feel bad for them, but like you guys, like for the most part, like they didn't know what Palestine was before. Like we gotta create solutions, and it's like if there's any solution to create, it's we are America first. We want those billions to go to policies. We want to not drive through Kensington and look at Kensington. We want to drive on roads that aren't going to fucking destroy our tires, destroy our
Yeah,
cars. We
the
don't we don't
problem with
we don't
the
we
problem
don't
with that, not only do the motherfuckers that have the power to change Kensington don't want it to change, but the folks that live and survive off of the drugs being distributed there, they don't want it to change. So you're fighting an uphill battle, you know. Nobody
yeah.
wants it to change. It's never gonna change. Like you said earlier, like the same people that can help us, they'll never give us even a piece of the crumb, because if you give them a little crumb, then they're gonna want more, and then that's why they're so greedy. That's why they're so, you can't have anything, we're gonna have it all type of deal, and
I
you're gonna
would
keep fucking
I would
dealing
agree
with
with
whatever
that.
you give.
The only part
Because
I
if you
would
give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's that they know that
The
That's the
only
oldest.
the only part I would disagree with is like there is a way to change it at least on the algorithm standpoint. It's like we can't give those people ammunition. And it's like I'm somebody that's in support of what Ann is saying, but like I'm still saying like you're a bitch though. Like, like we gotta at least look the part. So when we're saying it, like more people are gonna kinda, see the real. If you got two people angrily yelling at each other and just disagreeing, it's like from a person that's not smart, which is most people on Earth, definitely most people in America, like, they're going to go for the division. You got to be a little calculated, you got to understand, like, you can't, like, if you really want to make a change, if you really think, because you're not going to change her mind, we've already got that established. You're not going to change her mind, so what are you yelling at her for? You know, like you're up there
You
on
gotta
the
think about
TV.
what's
Yeah,
gonna
you're on the
change her.
TV. You gotta think about how you're being presented. So you have to change other people's minds that are watching you. And that's why I wanted to bring those clips up because I feel like regardless of how you feel about Jewish people or whatever the case, like or Israel and stuff, like, you gotta be solution first. And with that being said, you also have to be, you know, humanitarian. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be you gotta be, you gotta be able to turn the other cheek. Like I'm not no Jesus freak, I'm Muslim, but in some ways, like you gotta. I don't believe in I believe in a secular government, like where it's not religion and government like tied in, but I do believe like if we're just gonna be honest with ourselves, like let's just use examples that we can all like understand quickly. You don't gotta believe in God to hear like, all right, well, what Jesus says or what Scripture says, like, it's like, you gotta love your enemy, and I feel like if you think about it, everyone could like if it would fix the algorithm, it would fix the fact that like whenever we scroll on our phones, it's whatever they want us to show, it's whatever they want to show us. But like if we all collectively are presenting ourselves correctly on that matter, you know, it's going to change a lot of heads. And
That's
you
why
know,
years ago, like I wish I had a bigger platform to say this, but oddly enough, I honestly, obviously, I couldn't attest like me particularly like being the reason for this, but I realized like, all right, there's nothing you can do. I was sick of going on my phone every day and seeing Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. You remember in like 2018, 2016, you couldn't go on your phone without seeing Kim Kardashian.
yeah,
And what I started to do was just block her every
yeah, I
time I
did the
see it.
same
I
thing. I would mute
report
it.
it,
I
I
muted,
block
I
it, and
muted,
I
I
do.
muted the name on
And
my Twitter. I'm on the
yeah, and
same
then
type time.
and I think collectively, like you said earlier, the hive mind was all on the same page with that, and we all came together in our own minds, and we're like, "Hey, enough of this shit." Like Yahoo Mail thinks that everybody wants to know what the fuck this bitch
Yeah,
fucking wore yesterday, but nobody gives a fuck. And then
right.
as everybody started to block her out, we started seeing less of that because all it was before was every time they'd post her, they'd get clicks. So collectively, yeah, like if the money ain't there for them, like they'll never go for it. And like you
Right.
said, for Julian Michaels, unfortunately enough, the only way to I don't know if she is Jewish and that's why she's loyal
Yeah, she's
or
a
what.
Zionist podcaster. So,
Okay. Well, I don't know much about her, but all I know is sadly enough, Zionists are not nothing's gonna change people what they spew, what they say, what they feel, what they think,
yeah.
unless you change their pocketbook.
Let's
Like
let's
unless you can get into their pockets and give them a little bit more money or a little bit more whatever it may be that they want, that's oddly enough what fuels the economy.
yeah,
It's
let's
money.
move on here. Let's put a pin in that cuz we got our point across for sure. And that was, we went on a long
Also,
time,
just for the
so
record, Julia Michaels would beat the hell out of that Asian lady. I mean, let's not. She was scared for a reason.
yeah, that was crazy. That was definitely crazy. I can't even lie. Like I'm about to play the clip again how crazy it was. But let's take a look at some of these events here. I want to I want to get in. Let's look at H1B because I think I want to hear your take on this. Fuck. Am I fried? Am I just not? Hold on. H1B, right? Am I tripping? Fuck. Um. Hmm. Wow. Fried am I? Fried I am. I'll find it. I'll find it. Give me a second.
Waj been hit me up. You know what's funny? He was like, he hit me up and he was like, oh, he was like, what the fuck? Like, all right, so when I got my new phone, which, all right, Sam just told me that the lady's house that we were at, she just said that they just found my phone. It was like in the fucking
Wow.
other trailer. Yeah, so now whatever, I had two phones, but um,
Ironic.
but
Sam
it was
finding
funny
out where
because
it's at.
on my yeah, yeah, so uh. But yeah, so motherfucking why the first text message I get on my fucking phone is a call from Waj and then a text from Waj and it said, "Yo, bro, are you dead or something?" And I was like, "Shit, might as well be." Like that was like a real like I definitely hit my low point, like whatever, and that was definitely like the moment. Like looking at my phone is brand new. You know what I mean? You're supposed to have good feelings when you got a brand new phone or whatever. I look at my phone and it's like a text being like, "Are you dead or something?" And I'm thinking like in an alternate like reality, like I am dead and I am getting this text right
Oh
now
my God, you're an
and
idiot.
whatever. And but it was funny, so I texted him back and I'm like, "My bad, bro. I had I lost my phone. I didn't have a phone for 2 days." And he's like, "Fuck you, me 2 days. It's been like 3 months." And I was like, "Oh, like yeah." I probably haven't talked to him in like
Alright.
a minute.
Alright,
But
let's stay on topic here. Let's stay on topic. We'll talk.
I was just bringing that up because I feel like Waj would be good to get in here at some point too.
Yeah. I could definitely have Waj for sure.
Because
For
he
sure.
does a lot of this shit
Yeah,
too.
you got you the first one. You episode one, gang. You episode one. You know this gonna stay up. But yeah, let's
You know who else got motion? Fatty. You know
who?
the dude Fatty?
No. All right.
Uh, AK so rude.
So I want to know how you feel about this here. Getting a little bit serious.
Oh,
So
I can't get it.
let's
I'm here for comic relief. I can't get too serious.
yeah. I mean it's not that crazy, but H1B visa. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but
Isn't that like when foreign people come on a visa, like a work visa?
yeah. So yeah, yup. So they'll come on a work visa and they're like, it's just like a lot of there's policies that they're like, changing in this shit, and they're kind of like, I'll read this, John. So, since January, the Trump administration has pursued an aggressive tariff agenda, taking 10% stake in Intel, and insisted that the U.S. government can tell Nippon Steel how U.S. Steel should run its operations. So essentially, it's like they're supposed to be, paying like $100,000 like fine, to get this H-1B visa, but it's only for, I'm trying to find the article. It's only for, here we go. This is perfect. I mean, there's a video here.
We need great work.
There's a video. I don't even want to read it or listen to it, but we can. All right, here, I'll share my screen real quick, Nick. Here we go.
Are using Amazon to pick up, store, and deliver their products.
This fucking long ass ad, bro. He just cooked me with that. What the fuck?
They got to get their money.
Bro, the ads are
Everybody got to get.
the ads are insane, dude.
Workers, and this pretty much ensures that that's what's going to happen. I think, Sean, you agree with that?
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers.
I would
they have to
love
pay
it.
the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here. $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
Hold up. I wonder why the fuck you can't hear.
We need workers, we need great workers, and this pretty much ensures that that's what's going to happen. I think, Sean, do you agree with that?
Well, they're
Can you hear it now?
$100,000 per year.
Nah, but I could read the
So the whole
subtitles.
idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here. $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They love it. They love it. They really love it. They need it.
H-1Bs are sometimes used by people already in the country legally on other visas or student visas. Does this apply to them or to renewals, or does it only apply to people applying for the first time from abroad?
Renewals, first times, the company needs to decide, do they want, is that person valuable enough to have a $100,000 a year payment to the government, or they should head home and they should go hire an American. The whole idea, it's annual, and it's for total, it can be a total of 6 years. So $100,000 a year, so either the person is very valuable to the company and America, or they're going to depart and the company's going to hire an American, and that's the point of immigration. Hire Americans and make sure the people coming in are the top people. Stop the nonsense of letting people just come into this country on these visas that were given away for free. President is crystal clear. Valuable people only for America. Stop the nonsense.
Valuable people only for America, huh? So let's actually read the fine print of this, because I don't believe they were 100% accurate when they said that. President Trump, let's look. President Trump is adding $100,000 fee to H-1B visas, which tech companies use to hire foreign workers. It's mostly from India, so you gotta pay $100,000 per motherfucking person. Trump signed an order for a gold card for residency to those who will pay $1 million or $2 million